For over a century, skeptical scholars cast shadows of doubt on the tabernacle's existence, deeming it a myth. They claimed the tabernacle was not a physical construction, but a theological invention. However, a groundbreaking archaeological excavation is defying these assumptions. This recent dig offers compelling evidence the Bible is right about the tabernacle after all. Join us in an exciting journey that navigates through the sands of time to unearth ancient truths long denied. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates on exciting archaeological discoveries that show the Bible is true. The tabernacle was of central significance for the religion of Israel before the construction of the temple. It was often referred to as the tent of meeting because it was the place where Moses would meet and commune with God. It was very important to Israel because it was the symbol of God's presence among his people. The mercy seat in the Holy of Holies of the tabernacle was considered the throne of God, and equally important, the tabernacle was the central location for the Israelites to gather and worship, offer sacrifices, and seek forgiveness for their sins. It was the place where the priests conducted rituals and ceremonies according to God's instructions. But Bible skeptics dismiss the Bible stories about the tabernacle because they do not believe Israel's exodus from Egypt really happened. Obviously, they also do not believe the tent of meeting was carried around by the Israelites in the wilderness. The Bible says that the design of Solomon's temple was heavily influenced by the tabernacle. These critics say it is the other way around. The design of the temple was projected back on the tabernacle. They portray the tabernacle as one of the many myths in the Bible. But are they right? Because the Bible says the tabernacle consisted of curtains, and curtains normally do not survive the centuries, it seemed unlikely archaeology would be able to say anything about it one way or the other. However, a recent dig led to an amazing discovery. What happened to the tabernacle after Israel entered the Promised Land? This is the story how the Bible tells it. After crossing the Jordan River into Canaan, the tabernacle was set up in Gilgal. This location served as the first camp in the Promised Land, but only for about 7 years. But a more central location was needed, somewhere in the natural center of the land. Another spot was found in the territory of the tribe of Ephraim in a locality which was near the geographical center of the land, as could be wished. A complete circle of hills created a plain about 10 miles across. In the center was a slightly elevated area where the tabernacle was placed. They named the place Shiloh, and here the entire nation gathered to see the tabernacle erected and to make this their national place of meeting. This is the Bible story. But is it just a story or is it history? For a long time, people have thought that digging up Shiloh would lead to an answer. In many places in Israel, several layers of habitations that were destroyed, followed by new housing being built, led to a mound being known as a tell. There is also a Tel Shiloh, which is an archaeological site located in modern-day Israel, about 16 kilometers north of Jerusalem in the West Bank. This archaeological site is believed to be the location of the biblical city of Shiloh. Excavations at Tel Shiloh have provided valuable insights into the ancient history and culture of the region. The excavations at Tel Shiloh have been conducted by various archaeological teams over several decades, uncovering layers of history from different periods of human occupation. The first significant excavations at Tel Shiloh were conducted by a Danish expedition in the 1920s and 1930s. The team uncovered architectural remains, pottery, and artifacts from different periods, including what they identified as Canaanite and Israelite periods. Excavations resumed at Tel Shiloh in 1981, conducted by a team led by famous Israeli archaeologist Israel Finkelstein and his associates. These excavations yielded important findings. Various structures, walls, buildings, and fortifications were uncovered, showcasing the architectural styles and construction methods of different periods. Also, numerous pottery fragments, seals, jewelry, and tools have been found, providing insights into daily life, trade, and cultural practices during the various periods of occupation. Evidence of a massive boundary wall was discovered, suggesting the presence of an administrative center at Shiloh. This supports its role as a significant ancient city. There's been much discussion about how the finds relate to the stories about the tabernacle from the Bible, but there's been little agreement between scholars. Probably the question comes to mind, why would you expect to find anything connected to the tabernacle at Shiloh over 3,000 years later? First of all, the tabernacle left Shiloh, and secondly, if it was a tent, it is very unlikely that any remains are to be found. But actually, the situation is different. This is already suggested in the Bible by the prophet Jeremiah, when he says in the name of God, "For go to my place at Shiloh, where I first caused my name to dwell, and see what I did to it because of the wickedness of my people Israel." Shiloh was destroyed, but this suggests there was still something to see, and even something of the tabernacle might have been visible. For the Mishnah, Jewish tradition from the 2nd century AD, says about the tabernacle in Shiloh, a stone house was built, and it was covered with the tabernacle's curtains. There are indications in the Bible this indeed was the case. The tabernacle of Shiloh is called the house of God in 1 Samuel 1:24, but the tent in Psalm 78:60. The solution to the contradiction between the tent and the house is that the tabernacle of Shiloh was a semi-permanent structure. It had stone walls but lacked a solid roof. Instead, it utilized the original tabernacle's curtains and hides as a roof. So would it be possible to locate the tabernacle? Since 2017, the Associates for Biblical Research have a new excavation effort at Tel Shiloh, led by Dr. Scott Stripling. After several years of digging, they've removed 5 to 6 meters from the top of the Tel. Now Dr. Stripling has a startling claim. The tabernacle has been found. While he acknowledges the inherent uncertainty of archaeological findings, he's quite confident that he has accurately pinpointed the correct location. In a recent interview, he even leads a journalist to a place in the dig and tells him, "You're probably standing where the Ark of the Covenant was." This is an awe-inspiring experience for any Jew or Christian. For several reasons, Dr. Stripling identified the building they've dug up as the tabernacle. First of all, it is in the right place. Second, it's from the right time. Third, it is the right size and the right dimensions, twice as long as it is wide. Fourth, it's facing east, as the tabernacle is said to do in the Bible text. A final and important reason for the identification as tabernacle is that in the vicinity, hundreds of thousands of animal bones were found. This is evidence for a long period of animal sacrifices being brought at this place. The bones are from the animals used as sacrifice by the Israelites: goat, sheep, and cattle. There is one intriguing aspect to the animal bones that forms strong evidence this is an Israelite sanctuary, rather than a Canaanite, as some other archaeologists have claimed. There are many more bones from the right side of the animals than from the left side. How is that possible? Well, Leviticus 7 says that the right side of some offerings is to be given to the priests, so they would eat that at Shiloh. And sometimes the left side of the sacrificed animal would be taken home by the sacrificer to be consumed there. No doubt other interpretations of Dr. Stripling's find will be given as well, but the case is strong. The tabernacle, which was central to Israel's religion for centuries, has been found in the place the Bible says it would be, from the time the Bible said it was built, constructed in the way the Bible says it was constructed, with evidence of sacrifices offered in the way the Bible says they should be offered. Bible critics might try to wriggle out of it, but the case for the Bible stands stronger again because of this archaeological discovery.